I've been doing yoga for every day of the last 2 years of my life, and I thought I could tell you a little bit about my journey in this video while I'm packing my shower bag right now. This t-shirt I'm wearing here, very fancy t-shirt, is actually a t-shirt I wore in a 7-day silence yoga retreat in India. But 2 years ago, I was absolutely not this kind of person. I couldn't even imagine myself doing any yoga. I had friends who did yoga, and when I thought yoga, I just thought that's stretching, that's too slow. But at the same time, I was having really bad Lyme disease. I was feeling horrible every day. I didn't know what to do anymore. I tried everything, every kind of medication, and nothing of that helped. I had no energy. I had so much pain. I had fatigue. I had anxiety. I had all the problems of Lyme disease. And then at that point, I was really searching for a solution. Like I told you, I was not a spiritual person, but I kept reading this one book over and over, and it was called The Autobiography of a Yogi. And I just thought it was so great. I had insomnia. When I read that book or when I listened to that audiobook, I could just immediately fall asleep. I was like looking for something similar. So if you don't know the book, it's about this guy in India who becomes a yogi and walks a spiritual path. Then I stumbled across a book on Amazon by this guy called Sadhguru. I looked him up, and apparently he was a philanthropist, yogi, and had a long beard, looking at all these important events, and I didn't know what to think about this guy. I was like, I don't know, is he a yogi like the guy in my book? Like he lives in a cave and he only does meditation all day long? But then why did he have a wife, and why is he driving on a motorbike? So I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna get that book. So I started reading that book, and then also I started looking at his YouTube channel. And even though I was super skeptical, the more I looked at it, the more I started to love it. And I was like, oh my God, this is so good. This is so logical what he says. He's pretty much telling me why I have all these problems. I had a business. Let's go to the shower. The business was going really good, but still I was very depressed. So I saw that he offered this business summit. To be honest, I didn't really believe in those things, other business coaches and blah, blah, blah. I was like, what do they know what I don't know? But then I thought, they say he's enlightened. Whatever the hell that means, I don't know. But in my book about autobiography of a yogi, that seemed to be a great thing, to be enlightened. You seem to know everything about life. If someone can help me, then probably this enlightened guy who lives in India. Oh, this is our house, by the way. It was just super crazy. I just signed up for it. I just went online and just booked it. And it was really expensive, but I just had this feeling I need to do this. I also did this online course with him, and it's called Inner Engineering, and it was so great. 7-hour online course, and it completely changed my view on myself, on my thoughts and everything. And I stopped eating meat, I stopped drinking coffee, stopped drinking alcohol. I drank 8 cups of coffee every day. I was super addicted to coffee, chicken nuggets for dinner every day. So when I saw this course, it changed so many things internally in me. So then I met all my friends, and I was like, yeah, by the way, I don't eat meat anymore, I don't drink coffee, I don't drink alcohol, and next week I'm flying to India by myself. And they're like, and since then, I've been doing all my practices every day. What has changed in 2 years of yoga? My health has increased so drastically. I don't know if you've heard of Lyme disease.
So I've been struggling with my energy for quite some time now, and I just haven't known why. I've realized after a series of tests that I have what's called Lyme disease.
I know what it feels like to not want to get out of bed from bone pains and exhaustion and days on end, and not want to socialize or be around people because the anxiety and brain fog just isn't worth it.
I've been suffering from chronic problems for, I think, 20 years up until I found Isha Yoga. Most of my symptoms vanished or went down to a small amount. Symptoms on the mental level, like anxiety, fear, panic, depression, insomnia, and they vanished. I am feeling so much more energized in my body. I feel like I'm more productive. I'm just feeling more alive. I'm not the kind of yogi who can do a handstand, wrap his leg around his neck. That's never been my goal. My goal has been to be more healthy, to be more happy, and to be more productive. And those three things definitely came into life. There's a certain exuberance, I want to say it, certain joy in life, a certain aliveness that you feel if you do yoga every day. You experience, you sense more, you feel more, you taste more. And here's the thing, it's just making me much more conscious. Without yoga, I'm a slave to my emotions. Without yoga, I'm a slave to my moods. I might be irritated, just not feeling well, and I'm not able to stop it. If I do my yoga, I have power. Not full power, I'm not saying. For me, it's like a life support. It's like, you know how there's people who need like blood transition or something? If I don't do yoga, I'm like a half dead person. We usually get up very early, guys, around 3:30 in the morning before the sun comes up. That's really important for the yoga that we're doing works best. I'm gonna be like really spiritual now. I don't know how open you are. The energy flows very differently in different times of the day. If you get up at 3:30 and you just sit, it's just so good. Like so much energy goes through your system. And also, dude, I have like 4 hours of yoga to do every day. You have to pack that in your day, right? If you want to do anything else in your life besides that, you gotta get up early. And the cool thing about it is if you do those practices slowly, gradually, you'll need less sleep. Here's one more thing I want to talk about. Things from my childhood that gave me behavioral patterns, belief systems, things I could not break out of. A lot of us deal with these things from our childhood. Like a lot of trauma might have happened, right? A lot of trauma happened to me in my childhood and in my teenage years. This trauma brought me into like a trap. I was like trapped within the limitations, could not break out. I wanted to break those limitations. That's why I went to India, went to yoga. I wanted to decide who I am rather than be someone other people made me to because of the things they did to me and the things I experienced. I wanted to let go of that shit and create myself the way I want to create myself and create my life the way I want to create my life. And that has worked for me. That works every day in like miraculous ways. If I do my yoga, it works. If I do my meditation, it works. I look different, I talk different, I think different, I feel different now. A lot of people from my past back then, which were not even good for me, they're like, you have really changed. And I'm like, oh, thank you. My God, it worked. So much effort I'm putting into changing, and then finally someone sees it. But that's a good thing, and I've attracted the right kind of people in my life now and the right kind of things into my life, and I hope you can do that too. So yeah, if you like that video, you know the drill.